So you want to learn to air out. Well, I'll tell you what. I've seen a lot of how to air outs in my day. You know, about 5 years ago, I've watched every single one of them because I'd go to the skate park, I'd try to air out, and, you know, maybe I would get off the ground, maybe I would get even or maybe even above coping, but I kind of hit a roof. I could never go above that. Well, there's actually a few secrets to airing out that make people like, you know, Chase Hawk or Tom Dugan seamlessly flow out into the stratosphere and then back into the bowl. So my job today is to get you guys hooked up with all the information that you need to know to head to the skate park right after this video and start airing out. Make me a deal. If you get any value out of today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you don't, you can even hit the dislike button. To be honest, it does all the same for the algorithm. Anyway, if you guys would like to learn how to BMX, I actually have a class called the Fast Pass BMX class. It cuts the learning curve, tells you everything you need to know. Most importantly, I have BMX progression hacks, how to get really good, really fast. But on top of that, you know, I teach you the right bikes to buy, how to save the money, the best bang for your buck, you know, good helmets, the best riding attire, shoes, all the secrets that I've learned over the 6 to 7 years riding BMX and, you know, for a career, because the past 6 to 7 years I've been doing it for YouTube and getting paid. And obviously I want to find like the best of the best, right? So that is in the description for you guys to check out. Fast Pass BMX class, cut the learning curve, invest in your career, invest in your passion and your hobby. Whatever it is for you, click the link in the description. I'm looking forward to having you sign up for the class. Without further ado, let's get into step one. Step one is you've got to find the right quarter, and not just any quarter works. Let me just start off by saying that banks, don't even try it on a bank. I've seen people go up, bunny hop 45 degrees and come back down. You're doing a bunny hop. You're, if anything, learning, you know, it's an all right way to learn a 180. I don't recommend it, and you'll never see me recommend learning it on a bank and a how-to, but it's awful. If anything, it gives you the exact wrong idea in the incorrect form to airing out of a quarter. So the quarter that you want to find should be anywhere from about 4 to 6 feet tall. Now, the quarter that you're going to see in the examples today is about a 4-foot quarter, but it's pretty steep. Most smaller quarters are not that steep. So here's the thing. You don't want to find a 10-foot, but maybe it's extremely mellow, right? You want to have a normal quarter, not one of those super steep ones and not a super mellow one, right? One with some sort of coping on it. So, you know, I'm just simply using a 4-foot steep pool wall bowl thing or whatever. But just look for that. Anywhere from 4 to 6 feet is perfect for learning. And here's a little secret. The taller and steeper the quarter, so for example, you know, if you've got a 4-foot quarter and you've got a 6-foot quarter and they're roughly the same, but one's just taller, the 6-foot quarter is always going to be easier. The taller and steeper quarters, because here's the thing. The taller it is, usually the steeper it is to the top, right? You're going to have to flow out of it. But if it's more shallow, you're going to have to do more of a pull motion, right? So if you're going up the quarter, you're going to have to bunny hop and come back in. But if it's going straight up, you just float out and float back in. It is scarier to start with a bigger quarter. That's why I recommend anywhere from 4 to 6 feet. If you got the balls, go 6. If you don't, start 4. It's okay. And it's good to learn both anyway. So here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to start inside the bowl or just drop into a ramp, whatever. But you're going to want to get less speed than you normally would if you're going to fly out maybe onto the deck, right? So I like to start by carving around, slowly working my way up higher and higher. And the air is not going to be straight up and down, and the area won't be totally sideways. It's going to be a nice 45-degree arc. Start by slowly building up your momentum. Slowly, until you're more and more comfortable. All right, now you're kind of getting towards the coping. Maybe you're right under the coping. This is where you're actually going to learn the form. So here is the form. Whenever you're going up, you're going to lift up your front tire, then let your back tire escape the ramp. You're going to come back in and you're going to land front tire first and then let your back tire land. So basically you want to get as close as humanly possible to casing both tires out and in to the ramp. Now, sometimes that's really hard to do whenever you're boosting a quarter. You know, maybe you're 5 feet in the air. You don't want to have your coping right here and your front tire come in right here, right? If I'm boosting a quarter, I usually land a little bit flat just to kind of give myself a little safety net, but that's in a different video. So if you take a look at the video right here, you can see that my front tire leaves, then my back tire leaves. My front tire comes back, my back tire comes back. Now, the idea is you want both tires to pop off of the coping, right? So when I'm teaching people to do this, I say you cannot pull up and finish the bunny hop until that back tire leaves. So I see a lot of people, that's their biggest problem, is they get that front tire off, no problem, and then they can't quite get that back tire. You know, they get doom, but you want doom, doom. They can't quite get the back tire. That's what you need to work on. And you can work on that at or slightly above coping. But here's the thing, once you've unlocked that form, front tire, back tire, front tire, back tire, once you have that form, even if it's only a couple inches off, that's everything you need to know. That is the exact form. Because a lot of people, they'll do the both tire jump or whatever. They'll do that weird little bunny hop, and they'll do it halfway up the quarter. You want to use 100% of the quarter, because if you're not going as vertical as possible, you're not going to go as high as possible. So don't do the double tire weird thing halfway up the quarter. You want, I'll throw an example. Here is what most people do, and it is wrong. Here is exactly what you need to be doing. And once you have that form, like I said, you're golden. You're good to go as high as you want, right? So once you learn that form, because a lot of people, they'll just right out of the gate try to go as high as they can, and it doesn't work because they've got the wrong form. It's kind of like one of those things, you know, if you focus on the form, you're going to be better off in the long run versus someone who's just trying to send it out of the gate. Let's say two guys are going to push big cube stones 200 yards, right? And let's say dude number one has pushed it 135 yards. So he's, you know, over halfway there. But the second guy, he hasn't moved an inch. Instead of moving the cube, he has spent his time chiseling out that cube into a sphere. So that cube is turned into a sphere that he can now roll. So guy number one has now made it to 145 yards, but guy number two is already finished, right? He spent his time preparing, and then when it comes to learning the trick, he learned it exponentially and better than everybody else, right? So kind of use that analogy, that metaphor, as a great rule for learning BMX tricks. That's why my how-tos are so in-depth. I like people to spend time learning how the trick actually works and how to do it right, so you don't waste your time doing nonsense, right? Because I've seen people air out the wrong way for 3 years with nobody to tell them how to do it right, and they have not gained any height off the coping in 3 years. And I told that same person how to do it the right way. Now he's airing out like nothing, right? So imagine if he learned that from day one and he was over those 3 years actually going higher and higher and higher. So that's kind of the point I'm trying to get across. Anyway, if you gained any value out of today's video, hit that like and subscribe button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. Don't just click out of the video. You know, if you hate me, let me know in the comments below and hit the dislike button. Please, it helps the algorithm. Anyway, guys, if you would like to learn how to get really good, really fast, and cut the learning curve, click the link in the description, sign up for the Pass BMX class. I'm really looking forward to having you there, and I will see you in the next video.